Hi everyone. Tonight I'm going to be doing another sketch for my coursework in glass, well, by using glass, and I've got a new ink that I thought I'd try out. Now, on my recent trip to Lyme Regis, where I tend to get my art supplies, I got a bottle of this. Hopefully you can see that. Screen, camera thing. It was sold to me as kind of Japanese calligraphy ink, so for doing brushwork and things like that. I'm not very good at my Japanese or any of the Asian languages, but I know it was £2.50, so cheap and cheerful. So that I'm going to be using instead of the Daler-Rowney one that I have been using. Can you see that? There you go. I won't be using that. So I honestly have no idea what the drying times of this ink are going to be, how it's going to react or anything. So, let's see what's in the box. At least I hope it's ink. She said it was ink. But yeah, my favourite little art shop in Lyme Regis. Oh, so it's plastic. Is she? So just shaking it. Even the, well, I haven't even opened it and I can smell it. I wonder if that's got bone in it. Some paints actually do have bone and all sorts in them. So if you're vegan or vegetarian and you want to do painting, well, especially vegan, if you want to do painting, you should be able to get lists of what ingredients are in the paints and on the products before you use them. You would be surprised at what is in paint. So I've given it a darn good shake, and what's a bet I'm going to get inky fingers. That's why I'm wearing a black top. Ooh, it's a pori nib thing. Still doesn't smell right. So I reckon just a couple of drops. So yeah, it's a squeezy bottle. Okay, I've gone for 8. Got a very odd smell to it. Huffing ink, that's a new one. So back in the box, stand up, out of reach where it's going to go flying, because we all know everything goes flying around here. So give that a whack around. It's much more loose, definitely more loose than the Candor. So I reckon this is going to dry at a completely different level. Right, so I'm going to try it without adding water to dilute it, and then we'll add water a little bit. So I've got my shot of glass. I'm just going to paint the tip of that. Right, and once again, it's part of my study. So I'm just going to go for it. Ooh. That's me getting a stapler stuck in my hand. That feels different. That feels good. It's a much blacker ink. It's definitely feels like it's travelling further on the, so it's not drying out so fast. The other ink dried out quite quickly, so I didn't get to make very long lines. It's it's got a nice gradient to it. It's got quite a greyness to it. Ooh, I like it. Don't often say that. I like it. I don't want that because ew, there's another spider on my roof. I don't like spiders. I want it please spider off. Yeah, bad experience with spider bites. Do not like spiders. They can stay outside and eat flies, I don't mind that, but inside, they can jolly well jog on. Definitely feels a lot looser. There's one way to test this. Yes, it's definitely staying a little bit wetter than the other ink. So that's quite handy. So if I wanted to dilute this with water and a brush, I could do that. No, gotta be good. Stick with the program. In fact, I've actually managed to drag that line out a little bit. So this one is definitely more watery. Well, just hope I don't have to bring anything in to dry it. It should air dry. Ooh, big splodge up there. That was a bit of a happy accident. Just try and use different pieces of surfaces of the glass to get different effects. And then I don't think I am going to be able to draw that high detail with the glass. I can try. Blimey. This would probably work really well with dip pens. Oh gosh, this is it's quite tricky actually. It's because he's got the beret on. Yeah, I have a skull on my top with a beret. I might go and get a human skull one of these days. I haven't decided yet. I know how to get them. It's I'm not sure if I should morally, you know, have somebody else's head in the house. Marks in there to indicate there's bits in there. This is definitely a lot more harder than using a pencil because you can't control the width of the lines or how much ink is going to be there. got to do? Not quite getting the thickness of line that I need there. Let's see if we do. Yeah, doing it using the back of the glass seems to produce a much thicker line. Which means the ink gets used up faster. I'll pull a little bit of that across to create a little bit of shadow. I mean, right now, yeah, it doesn't look like anything really. But that's where just literally putting in building blocks of shapes and such comes in. Let's try and use this long side. If I'm really careful with the marks that I make slow and deliberate, it feels much more different to when I'm doing very quick light marks. I feel more comfortable kind of doing scritchy, sketchy marks. But on the other hand, I hate doing scruffy work. Floor texture in. And right, on with the detail. Oh, and I got inky fingers. Right, grab a cup of tea. Hydration is a necessity. Some parts of my bookshelf I have books facing sideways, but most of it's got the spine facing me. But on occasion, when I've had a couple out, then I put one just facing, so if I need a quick reference I can grab it. bookshelf is slightly different because my bookshelf isn't the perfect size. I mean, it's big. It's seriously big. But a lot of the books I've bought are huge. I mean, I've got a whopping great big anatomy book that's like this thick. But sadly, it's also like this big. So trying to fit that on a normal bookshelf is a bit of a task. So some books have to go sideways, some have to go kind of at angles. And the top shelf is a right mix. Sadly, I can't really stay up too late doing this. I've got another very early shift tomorrow. 2 40-hour weeks, which I'm not enjoying. Shut it over there. Well, actually, botherish. Let's pull it. I'm just going to put some more detail down here. I'm going to try and add in a little bit of cross-hatching. yeah, make you guys laugh. Found a hedgehog a couple of nights ago. I was up by the little wildlife pond I've built, and I could, while I stood watching the frogs and thinking, and this is about 11 o'clock at night, I could hear this little down next to me, and I thought, what the dickens is that? I looked down at my feet where there's a water bottle, and there's a baby hedgehog having a drink. Okay, fine. So me being me, picked it up, had a check of its weight, really nice weight. Took it for a walk, as you do, took baby hedgehog for a walk. And a very well behaved baby hedgehog, didn't prickle me at all. And gave it some cat food, showed it one of the hedgehog houses that I've got in the garden. And I thought, well, if it sees it, maybe it might decide to take up residence in there. And it's been coming back the last few nights to come and get a bowl of food and fresh water. So we always keep fresh water in the garden. I mean, everyone's got the right to water. So hopefully tonight, well, actually now it's going to be tomorrow night when I can stay up late and I don't have an early shift. What I can then do is stay up, say, 11:30, 12, and just see what else comes in the garden. I do have like tracker cams, but they don't always catch some of the animals. So it was okay when we had the badgers coming into the garden, and it's a shame that people blocked up all the areas so they can't come through anymore. I used to love those. When you kind of sit in the garden and you're 4 foot away from a wild badger that's just nomming through the lawn looking for insects and worms and things like that, it's just stunning. And having the foxes come through. I'd love to see some deer in the garden. I know there's deer in the area, but I don't think they're going to come this way. It's a shame because I love deer. They're so dear. This time, whereas on one of my previous ones I just did the table, I've taken the table out and I'm just going to try and put in the other stuff that's there. So like the radiator and the window. I'm letting the ink be a bit faded for this because it's a reflection. I don't want it to be too strong. Maybe I can get enough texture off of the dried ink, which seems to be working. Well, I definitely like doing more sketchy style with the piece of glass. And, oh my god, I've got some hand washing to do. I kind of hope this comes out like the other inks do. Otherwise, some strange little fly thing. If this doesn't come out brilliantly, then I'm going to have trouble at work tomorrow. But hey so quick test. Spritz into my hand, rub my finger into the palm. Yes, it should come off with water. That's the only thing about buying stuff where you can't read the label. You could be buying permanent lead ink or something and not know it. I don't know what this ink is made of, but at the end of the day, it's worked. It's dried. I think, let's move this out of the way because I can see a disaster happening. You just know it will. It feels like it's dry, quite grainy. There's a lot, and there's a lot of transfer. That's just a bit of a surprise, actually. Charcoal, maybe. There's a lot of transfer kind of grittiness on it. So, I'm just going to quickly take a peep. So she's trying to make sure that nothing is going to go, something's going to go flying, and I can feel it. It's going to go flying. Yeah, only problem with having an A3 sketchbook, they're big. I'm glad I haven't got an A2 sketchbook. Right. Overall, I'll get some to the camera over the internet. Right, this spilt's moving. That was the this one where my thumb is, hopefully. This is the Daler Rowney ink, and that's the Japanese ink. The Daler Rowney is definitely a little bit sharper and a little bit blacker, definitely. Whereas the other ink has still got a nice tone. It's almost smoky, a dark smoky colour. I still really like that. So that, hopefully, that's how many have I done. I need a new hobby. I need to quit doing this job. Right, so I've done 1, 2. 2 is really sketchy. 3. So I'll probably need to do another 3 sketches of the room at some point. But that is not going to happen tonight. As you can see, my hands are now very, 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 very messy. So we get them nice and wet. Grab tissue. There we go, it's starting to pull. Now, in my bag, around here somewhere, I always have a bag. I mean, that's coming off nicely just with water. That tells me I cannot get that piece of artwork wet at any cost. So, it's going to be a question of what happens if it gets damp on delivery. Oh, I haven't got the bag that way. I was going to anti-back off the rest, but I can wash it off. So that's a bit of a question, because when I send my coursework to my tutor, they are miles and miles and miles away, so I have to plastic wrap, card wrap, and I can see that being a little bit of a problem if that gets damp. Right, so that is pretty much that piece done. Let's bear with me. A tidy workspace is a good workspace. My study is a mess right now. Sludge everywhere. And if you're wondering what this one is, this glass mat, it's a One Tonic Do. It's meant to be an A3, and technically it is, but it's only A3 one way. So if you're doing a landscape drawing, this is great. Fits fine. If you're doing a portrait drawing, you've got to switch around, of course. That's if you've got a bigger desk. Me, I ain't, so... Oh, and a progress shot on the little doobrey that I've been working on. So this is the swine nub and the wrong mushroom case. But I should be able to bring the camera down a wee bit. Ta-da! I'm going to hang on this. So as you can see, I've added in a lot more layers and just messed around a bit more with it. So what I'll have to do is, once I've finished doing the background, is to make this one, which is the original first kind of little swine nub in a forest scene. I need to make that one match the colours on that one. And so what's going to happen with these two images? Well, in all honesty, I'm really seriously, fingers crossed, I'm hoping to get in for the Comic Con in Dorset next year. I think it's March 20 something, 24th I think, that's a little fly again. and this is going to be like a postcard design. And then I've got the other stuff I'm going to do somewhere. And of course I've got all of the bookmarks, the ones that I'm still working on and my old ones. The bookmarks, I have got a company who will do them for me. It will be a lot cheaper. Randomness. Sadly, my scanner's broken, so I went down PC World and said, oh, can I buy a scanner? You've got to buy one which has got a printer on it. I don't want a printer scanner. I want a scanner. No. So Amazon it is. Yes. No, yes, I did say that to his face when he said, oh no, we don't sell them. My answer, fine, Amazon. You don't want me to buy stuff from you? Then I go to Amazon. So that is pretty much it for tonight. There's not much more I can do until the ink dries, and hope that's given you some ideas of how to use a piece of glass, which is gonna run. Okay, yeah, I'm bad. And of course, the piece of glass, the little brush, and the ink. The ink looks actually now like it's getting much more stodgy. So it's definitely taking longer to dry. What I'll do is I'll fish the glass out once it's dried a bit and give that a wash in soapy water. The glass is never going to come back like crystal clear unless I use something really insane on it, which I honestly do not plan to do. I'm not going to waste good chemicals. So yeah, it's definitely worth having a go and trying something different, trying a different medium. Remember, you can even draw with a putty rubber if you're that way inclined. So until next time, all the best, have a lovely evening, take care, and happy drawing to you all. Toodle pip.